Hey Guardians, welcome back to another episode. Today is Thursday. We're going to see what Zur has in store for us. Zur is located in the hangar of the tower. Let's see what he has. Alright, Zur brings in the exotics of Suros Regime, which is the exotic auto rifle, Suros Legacy, half mag bonus damage and regen health. Next is the Bombardiers, which is the Hunter exotic leg armor. Next up is the Ashen Wakes, which is the exotic arms for the Titan. And next up is the Crown of Tempest, which is the exotic Warlock helm. Now guys, this has a pretty spike in the resilience aspect, discipline, and strength. Not too bad, I'd say so myself. I definitely picked this up for Arc 3.0 that's getting ready to come out. As for legendary weapons, Zur is running the 7th Seraph Officer Revolver with a precision frame, threat detector, high impact rounds. Not a bad roll for that particular hand cannon. With threat detector, you have increased reload, stability, and handling when enemies are close. High impact reserves, rounds at the end of the magazine deal more damage. Pick it up if you don't have it for your collection, but otherwise I would probably skip on this particular weapon. Next is the Extraordinary Rendition, which is the exotic submachine gun. It's an aggressive frame, surplus, and tap the trigger. Not a very good combo with those perks, so I would give this one a pass. Next up is the Wolf Tone Draw, which is a Arc legendary bow. This came out last season, the Season of the Lost. It is a precision frame, sneak bow, and harmony. With sneak bow, you get increased hold time and reload speed and prevents radar pings from shooting while crouched. And harmony, final blows with other weapons improve this weapon's damage and performance for a short duration. With this particular two perks set together, nothing really to write home about. I'd probably pass on this particular bow. Next is the Distant Tumulus, which is a solar legendary sniper rifle with clown cartridge opening shot. Pick it up for your collection if you don't have it, but otherwise I would pass with these two perks. You can do better. Next is the First In Last Out, the legendary Arc shotgun with hip fire grip and opening shot. This particular shotgun is a pinpoint slug frame, fires a single slug round. This weapon's recoil pattern is more predictably vertical. Hip fire grip increases accuracy, stability, and precision hit targeting when firing from the hip. Opening shot, improved accuracy and range on the opening shot of the attack. So with these two particular perks together, this is a pretty decent PvP roll. So I would bring this into the Crucible. Iron Banner is happening right now. By all means, take it in there. Do some pretty good damage. Next is the Corsair's Wrath, which is a legendary linear fusion rifle, which has a solar damage, has its precision frame, killing wind, and unrelenting. Very nice combo wombo here. Killing Wind, final blows grant increased mobility, weapon range, and handling for short duration. Unrelenting, rapidly defeat targets, triggers health regeneration, guardians, and powerful combatants count as more than one kill. This is very handy in your PvE content situations here. With Killing Wind, when you get those final blows, you become more stable and get more range out of your weapon. With Unrelenting, all those fast kills will start regenerating your health. Adds to our survivability. Has a blast radius masterwork, which is very interesting for a linear fusion rifle. I don't know if this is a bug or perhaps this is something Bungie put in for some odd reason, but very interesting. I'd pick it up just for that sheer fact, and it will perform very well in PvE. Lastly is the Keening, which is a Arc sidearm with slide shot, sympathetic arsenal, and one quiet moment. Slide shot, sliding partially reloads this weapon's magazine and temporary boost range and stability. Sympathetic Arsenal, reloading after a final blow also reloads your stowed weapons. One Quiet Moment, grants increased reload speed when out of combat. This particular sidearm I see being used more in PvP. I would possibly pass on it because with Slide Shot, with Sympathetic Arsenal, yes, they do help in reloading and getting more ammo for your stored weapons and giving you a slight boost in range and stability, but there's better choices out there for sidearms if you're into those kind of builds for your PvP content. Now for the Titan's legendary armor this week, 7th Seraph Gauntlets, which not much of anything on the arm, so I would pass on these. The chest, a little bit of a recovery spike and resilience, and a 64 total armor score. I would pass on these personally, but by all means, if you have none of these armor sets, you pick them up for your collection. Next is the 7th Seraph Helmet, which has a spike in recovery, which not bad. I would possibly pick this up if you're looking for high recovery in your build for a Titan, but if you're running Titan, you want more resilience and recovery. 7th Seraph Greaves, a little spike in discipline, and I would possibly pass on these. Not too good this time for the Titans. For our exotic weapons, Xur is selling the Hawkmoon. Hawkmoon having Rangefinder, which with Rangefinder, aiming this weapon increases its effective range and zoom magnification. Increased projectile velocity while aiming rocket launchers, grenade launchers, and bows. Also comes with a heavy grip. This grip is weighted for recoil control, increased stability, decreased handling speed. I would wait to see next week what Xur has with Rangefinder and the heavy grip. Not a very good combo wombo for the Hawkmoon. We can do better. Next, Dead Man's Tale, the exotic scout rifle, which it is running moving target, increased movement speed and target acquisition when moving while aiming down the sights, which is not a very good perk to have with this weapon, which has the best hip fire aiming of any weapon in the game. So I would pass on this. What the perk you're looking for this particular weapon is you want Vorpal. So guys, that is everything that the Titan has this week for Xur. Next we're going to check out what the Hunter and the Warlock have. Be back in just a moment. Alright Guardians, we're back here on my Hunter. We'll see what Xur has for the Hunter this week. If you guys are enjoying the video, please, I would greatly appreciate a like, comment, and by all means please subscribe. So today for the armor for the Hunter, the 7th Seraph Grips, which have a little spike in mobility and recovery and intellect, which not bad, with a armor total of 65. If you're needing this particular armor set, not bad for a well-rounded build, but if it was me, I would pass on this myself. Next, 7th Seraph Vest has a recovery spike, and a 61 total armor score. With your Hunters, you're probably wanting more mobility, and then after mobility, you're wanting more resilience. So, me personally, I would pass on these. 7th Seraph Cowl, got a spike of mobility and intellect, get more speed and get your super back quicker. Not bad. I would pick them up if you're missing any of these pieces for your collection, but I would wait and see what we have next week. I would pass on these. And next are the 7th Seraph Strides, which have a spike in resilience and intellect, similar to the helmet, just a little more spike in resilience. I would pass on these. Not very good for the Hunter this week, but with the armor score 59, that's kind of low in my opinion. You want in the high 60s, if not in the 70s, is ideal. So not looking too good for the Hunters this week from Xur. Here in a moment, we're going to check out and see what the Warlock has in store for us. Alright Guardians, we're going to see what Xur has in store for the Warlocks. Not bad. 7th Seraph Gloves has a spike in mobility with a total armor score of 60. If you're looking to get a little bit more speed out of your Warlocks, by all means pick this up. but rather low in your resilience and recovery and discipline, so I would possibly pass on these. Next, but Seraph Robes, spike in recovery, armor score 59. Like I said prior, this is a low armor score for your pieces. You want at least in the 60s, if not 70s. I would pass on these. 7th Seraph Hood, a little bit of a spike in recovery, all total armor score of 61. All around, just a kind of average piece of armor. I would pass on these. Lastly, 7th Seraph Boots, mobility, resilience, and strength, with a total armor score of 63. Overall, a half decent pair of armor. I would pass on these personally. You can do a little better. All in all, it looks like that the Titans did a little bit better this week with Xur. So if you haven't none of these pieces, by all means, for your collection, pick them up. But if you're a Titan, you're in luck. Hunters and Warlocks, kind of pick and choose what you're really needing for your builds and see what you can get out of them. But other than that, Xur is just not selling a whole lot this week. But I would possibly also want to pick up the Corsair's Wrath, that solar heavy linear fusion rifle. Very good combo rolls for perks. And interesting enough, a blast radius for a linear fusion rifle. You see these more for your grenade launchers and rocket launchers. So interesting. Don't know if, like I said, this is a bug or Bungie intentionally are putting these in. I've seen different weird weapon tiers for your masterworks on different weapons, like bows getting just instant, just crazy looking mods. So interesting. Pick it up if you're looking for it. So guys, that's going to do it this week for your Xur's wear. Like I said, please give me a like, subscribe, and comment down below. If you're needing help in your Destiny builds, by all means, please leave me a comment. And if you want another fire team member in your party, by all means, hit me up. I'll be more than happy to assist you. Thanks for watching. Happy Thursday, everyone.